Hello and welcome back to LTWS Backstage Chronicles. I'm your host, Jessica Perry, and today we're shining a spotlight on some of the most exciting and energetic performers at the Little Theater, our youth actors. Woo! In this special bonus episode, we're taking you behind the scenes of our spring youth production, Anything Goes Youth Edition. We'll chat with director Heather Levinson and two of our talented young actors, Alex and Eden. We'll hear about their experiences in rehearsals, what it's like to put together a full-scale youth production, and of course the fun and challenges of bringing their characters to life on stage. If you enjoy this episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your theater-loving friends. Now let's get started. Hello and good afternoon, everyone.
Hi.
Let's take a moment to go ahead and introduce yourself. To my left, we have
Eden.
And what character are you playing, or characters?
I play Irma, and I'm also the dance captain.
All right, nice. And Alexandria, what do you prefer?
I go by Alex, and then I play Reno Sweeney.
Reno Sweeney, thank you. And
I'm Heather Levinson, and I have the pleasure of directing the show.
El Captain.
Capitan.
Capitan. There you go. There you go. All right. I'm here now. Okay, so tell me a little bit about the story of Anything Goes, for those who aren't familiar with what this show might be about.
Wow, there's a lot of plots. Yes, lots of things going on. It's one of those big, splashy, old-timey musicals. It all takes place on a cruise ship. Reno is kind of a nightclub singer, but she's also kind of a gospel singer. Yeah. And there's lots of different love pairings and will they, won't they, love triangles. What do you think are some of the most important story highlights, Alex?
Well, it's kind of just a great controlled chaos.
Yes, that's a good description.
Moonface Martin and Irma, I'd say, is my favorite out of the stories. They're just so... I don't know how to even say it.
Eden, you get a lot of the laughs.
Yeah, definitely.
What do you think is the most important thing for people to know about Moonface and Irma? They're such big characters.
Yeah, I think they're just like the funny ones, and everyone else is like love triangles and stuff. They're just there.
Yeah, they're just there for the laughs and hijinks.
Yeah.
I don't feel like the story would be entertaining without them.
It would.
It needs it.
Yeah, it's got everything, like just lots of mistaken identities, lots of people popping on and then hiding from people. It's really actually pretty hilarious.
Oh, yes. We love good mistaken identity comedies here at the Little Theater for sure. We're currently doing that right now.
I was going to say, it is kind of like a musical farce in a way.
Interesting. So would you consider this a fast-paced kind of production?
Definitely. One of the challenges we've had are, as we've started to get into blocking, the scenes are very bulky. Lots of like, this character enters and then they say one line and then they exit. And then another character comes in and then they run into this character and there's like a quick 3-line scene and then everybody exits. And then the scene will go on for 10 minutes, but it's all like that enter-exit. Which has been really fun to work on with these kids, especially some that don't have quite as much experience as Alex and Eden do.
I know that Alex and Eden have done multiple productions with us before, and I was actually going to ask you, because like the comedic timing that is necessary for like these entrances and exits. Phil, our director of Unnecessary Farce, I remember them having a rehearsal just where they practiced entering and exiting and opening and closing doors because that's so important to Unnecessary Farce. How are you using that as like teachable moments for those who don't understand that part and the importance of it?
Luckily, we don't have doors. Doors are like a crazy part of just about every farce, and they are so challenging. So hats off to Phil because we don't have to deal with that. Honestly, we have got so many like really natural comedians. Everybody is making the most of their moments. I'm actually having to give a little bit more like direction of energy because there's just so much comedic energy that happens when we're all together, and just kind of getting them like to stay focused. hilarious.
Some more moments of like, that's great, but just maybe a little less.
I love the idea.
You're at 11.
That's great.
Like, let's bring it down to like an 8.
One of our sweet castmates is absolutely determined that he's going to do that, like, that miming joke where they're behind something and you make it look like you're going down a flight of stairs. He is determined to fit that into the show somewhere. And I'm kind of like, I don't know if cruise ships at this time even had stairs. They probably have like ladders or something. I don't know. But anyway, he is very much determined to get that in there. So you guys should come see the show to see if he gets away with it. He pulls it off or not.
So, Alex or Eden, what's been one of the most fun parts about rehearsals? Or what keeps bringing you back to doing these shows time and time and again?
The friendships, definitely. There's kind of a core group that shows up in every one, and so it's great to see old friends, and it's great to see new ones, and it's always turns out something similar in a way, but completely unique at the same time. So I really do love that.
Because no two shows are exactly the same.
It's not, even if we're some of the same group, and it's really fun to make new friends, and it's very much the friendships there.
I feel like y'all are learning at an early age the post-show blues, and like, I got to go do another show, so I can't stop doing shows.
It's addictive in like the best way.
It is. When I was a kid, I wanted to do theater so bad. And one thing I love about it is like it's this space where grown adults will come and play make-believe. Because when I was a kid, I loved playing make-believe and I never wanted to stop. Is that kind of like that with you guys?
Yeah, it's fun to just like pretend to be a different character on stage.
So as you'll get older, you'll probably learn more about like acting techniques and the different types of styles of techniques if you haven't already started learning about those. But for now, it's just kind of like you're just playing make-believe, or you're just getting like, do you get into the character? Or do you like, it's not me, it's this character. That's one thing I loved about acting as a kid, because I was kind of a dork. I'm not gonna lie. I was a dork.
I can't believe that, Jessica.
Well, that's because I'm such a good actor. I've learned to hide my dork.
Yeah.
No, actually, I don't hide it very well. And those who spend a lot of time with me, they know that. But what I loved about acting as a character is like I could be anybody. I can be heroic. I can be the hero. I can be the comedian. I could like make people laugh. I could make people feel things. Is that what's one of your favorite parts about theater?
I love making people laugh. I always do. Just love that. I love being almost like the sidekick character, kind of the toady. I always love that. Trailing behind, being like, catch up! I'm right behind you. Wait!
Both Eden and Alex I love working with them because they both are just very willing to go to those kind of big, broad places. And a lot of times when people are new to theater, you have to kind of like encourage them, like, no, you can do a little more with that. Ooh, go lean into that. And they're so nervous about being too much. And both Eden and Alex, like especially just right from our first rehearsals, were really willing to just jump in there and be these big, broad characters. I think we should make them both do a little line like in their voices, because they kind of embody these whole different people.
Oh, yes, please. Yes, please. Yes.
What's your favorite line as Reno, Alex?
So far, probably, why are the cute ones always so dumb?
Eden, we haven't really gotten to an Irma scene yet, but have you picked a favorite line yet?
I use a New York accent on stage, and so just the ones that have more R's at the end of words,
That's definitely more fun.
Let me think. You want a sailor suit? No problem. That's fun.
It makes me laugh every time.
So do you like doing accents and dialects and things?
Yeah.
Have you done many of them?
Not on stage, just off stage,
Oh, okay. So what other kind of accents have you played around with?
I like the British accent,
Do your Veruca Salt.
Oh, yes, Veruca Salt. My daddy always gives me everything I want.
Okay, so now we have to do Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Yes.
What about you, Alex? Do you play around with dialects?
Sometimes, but not as good as Eden.
What would you say is your super talent or secret talent or hidden talent or not so hidden.
Sorry.
Put you on the spot. Like, go and go.
It's like, go. Brain, think. Sorry, Alex is not available right now. Leave a message after the tone. Beep.
So her improv skills is what she is best at, is what she's saying.
Alex,
Yes, that's implied.
had you ever tap danced before this show?
Just a little bit. I used to do kind of like the kid combination of a little bit of ballet, jazz, and tap, but never a lot.
Yeah, that's something that our brilliant choreographer Katie has really taken on with gusto, is teaching these kids tap. And Eden, had you ever done tap before?
No, I had no experience dancing except like a few months of ballet when I was 4 and last year at the Wind in the Willows.
Yeah, so I think most of the kids in the show, I don't think many of them had ever had any tap experience. So we started kind of from the absolute ground floor with that. And it's pretty incredible how much you guys have picked up in just like a few weeks of rehearsals to go from like, what's a time step, what's a flap, to go to doing like the full anything goes number, which is kind of the big tap number in the show.
That's impressive, because I have always wanted to be good at tap dancing, and it's not going to happen for me. I can fake it.
Me too. I've always called myself a fake tapper.
I can look like I'm tapping, but don't put the shoes on me.
Right. Don't
test
listen.
me.
I was once in an audition where the director got on the floor and like put his ear next to your tap shoes. I don't think I got that part, if I remember correctly.
I was once in an audition where oopsies, got a little too close there. I was once in an audition where the director, there was a tap number, and the director was like, "I love how you have no idea what you're doing. You're just
But you
going
sell
for
it."
Do it with confidence.
That's right. That's what theater teaches you, that whatever you do out there, you just do it with confidence. Because, I mean, everybody's right and wrong. Everybody makes mistakes. So just go out there and be confident. Do you feel like theater has added to your confidence level?
Definitely.
Yeah.
So how old were you? Okay, how young were you? I guess I should say. How young were you when you first started doing theater?
I did I guess I was 4 when I started. I did a musical then, and I was just like one of the small ensemble roles. And I did another when I was 5 at a different place. And then I started with the little theater when I guess I was 6, almost 7.
Oh my gosh.
So you're an old pro, Eden.
What about you, Alex?
I used to do dancing. I started that when I was 3. I didn't do theater until I was around 6. And then, so I did plays off and on until I started with Little Theater about a year and a half ago.
So, did you notice a difference in your confidence levels since starting theater?
I don't remember what my confidence levels were before I started theater.
Well, at that younger age, 6 and 7, yeah, I can imagine that.
The world is your oyster at 6. It's great.
What about you, Heather?
I didn't start doing theater till I was about 15. I had been a dancer my whole life. And I remember going to see my high school production and just being wowed by the combination of the storytelling and the dancing, which was kind of like what I had as a strength at the time. And I just completely threw myself into it and got into every show I possibly could. My first community theater show was at the Little Theater of Winston-Salem.
Yay!
It was Camelot in like 19, we won't say. But I was, 15 and I was in the ensemble, and I remember going to what used to be the Mexican restaurant across the street from the old Arts Council Theater at the end of that show and just bawling into my chips and salsa because I thought I'd never, ever in my entire life have such a great experience ever again. But I did, because I kept coming back for more.
Because you never stopped.
Exactly.
Oh, my goodness. In elementary school, we had school student productions. Like, oh, it's Thanksgiving. We're going to have people dress up in pilgrim costumes and Native Americans because we didn't understand any of that
because
at
it was
that time.
it was a little while ago.
it was 19 something.
Exactly.
And I just remember so bad because I was like, people who know me today wouldn't believe it, but I was a shy, quiet kid that didn't talk out. So I didn't. The teachers would pick based off of like, oh, either who has the best grades or who is the most personality. And I'm like, oh, I don't have any lines. Oh, I'm in the chorus. Oh, I'm in the back. It's okay. But I was dying to be a part of that. And I got more involved in high school when there was more opportunities to do actual shows. I'm like, I'm going for everything I possibly can go for. And I just made friends. As you guys said, it was a great place to make friends because I was really awkward. Like when I say I was a dork, I was really awkward, guys. Like I didn't know how to talk to people. And theater taught me how to fake being able to talk to people. And then I became a really heavy talker, sometimes a little too much. And like, okay, Jessica, all right, Jessica, breathe.
I can relate to that.
Me too.
But that's what I love about theater. It's like, once you kind of rip off the Band-Aid and you get doing it, if you can go on stage and tap dance when you've, only learned it a few weeks before, or you can get on there and, have this big fake accent and just sell it, then you can handle a job interview. You can handle a college application interview. You can handle, so much of the things that make us nervous in life, giving a speech. If you can get up on stage and perform like these kids are performing, that applies to so much in life that we take for granted.
You wouldn't believe the areas in which theater would be beneficial to your life. I'm in several networking groups with people from all various fields and trades, and everyone has to get up and like stand and talk for like 45 to 60 seconds about things. And you can tell the ones that have been doing it for a bit, and you can tell the ones that like they're still kind of quiet and shy and they don't really want to talk. But it's the more confident you are in ability to speak, it translates to more referrals and more business and more everything. Like it's so important. These skills are so important. You don't even really realize it.
Absolutely.
Which is why theater education is so important, to start young and help build that confidence early and teach the next generation these skills, no matter what they choose to do in life. And while we're discussing it, do you guys know? I mean, you're a little young, but do you have any idea? Do you have anything like, I want to be this when I grow up?
I do find the touring Broadway. That sounds like it would be really cool, but it would be hard to get into. So that's more of a aspiration, not necessarily a reachable goal. But then
don't say that. It's a total reachable goal. Believe in yourself. There you go.
Nothing's a reachable goal until you reach out and take it.
I like that.
Boom.
That's why she's the director.
Boom. Drop in some bombs.
Wisdom.
Yes.
Yeah.
The first step is admitting it. You want it. Go take it. What about you, Eden?
Probably the same thing Alex said. Yeah, that would be really fun to do something like that.
Oh, I feel like touring shows would be a lot of fun. I mean, not really at my age. My body hurts all the time now, so. But I think it would be a lot of fun to do things like that. Get to travel and perform. That does sound like a lot of fun.
A
My
great
two
2-in-1.
favorite things.
Have you traveled a lot?
Some, yeah. Yeah, I like to travel.
Where's your favorite place that you've been to? We're just getting off topic now.
I don't mind. I like New York City, and I like Italy.
Ooh, nice.
Alex actually did her Anything Goes audition from the cabin of a cruise ship she was on.
How appropriate.
Talk about getting in character. She
How
went on a
appropriate.
cruise.
I was.
So do you think that being on a cruise ship is what got you the part of Reno?
Yes, I was in the mindset. That was it.
There were definite vibes. I could
Exactly.
feel the ocean coming through her
knew it.
video audition.
So you said you've been to New York. Have you seen any Broadway shows?
Yeah, I got to see Hamilton and Wicked on Broadway. It was amazing.
way.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Right.
That was our podfather chiming in. What about you, Alex? Where have you traveled to in this wide world that we live in?
My favorite, that would be hard to say. I really like Athens, Greece.
Home of theater.
They're so nice there. And it was so cool to see like the original theaters in the amphitheaters.
Oh, really? Oh my gosh, I'm so jealous.
Wow.
Oh, that's amazing. Take me with you. I'll fit in your backpack.
Exactly. Those
Somehow.
big ones you can.
Have you had a chance to see any Broadway shows?
I have not. I've seen some of the touring ones,
Yes.
but never one on Broadway.
Well, touring shows are still Broadway. They
Broadway
count.
tours.
They count. They count. Do you have a favorite?
I like Six quite a bit and Hadestown.
Oh my goodness. Yes. Yes, I did see both of those actually last time they came through. Loved them. Sobbed during Hadestown.
Me too.
Absolutely. Just pouring, crying, like looking at people, like making sure I'm not like.
It's like I'm not alone.
What about you, Heather?
Oh, favorite shows? Oh my gosh. I've been to New York many times. I actually lived in New York for almost 2 years. Oh my gosh, this is crazy pressure to pick a favorite show. That's like picking a favorite kid. I guess I would have to say Next to Normal is a favorite for me. I really like shows that make me feel something really strongly, and I am a crier. So there's something really awesome about the catharsis of going to see a show and just bawling with the people around you for like 2 hours. It's just such a bonding experience.
It is such a wonderful feeling just to cry around people. It's cathartic. It's very healing and therapeutic, and any other simile that I can use. I remember. Okay, so I came and saw Alice by Heart, and I was crying in that show. I also saw Ride the Cyclone because my daughter and I were obsessed with that show.
Oh, it's such a good one.
And didn't really cry in that one, but I did hoop and holler.
I always cried during the last number, though. Like the words of the last song. Just saying it's just a ride, you have to enjoy life and embrace every moment of it because it always ends too soon, So I would always get really touched. And there's something about working with teenagers, which, when I started diving into directing, I didn't know that would be like a place of such passion. But I think because I discovered theater as a teenager and it really kind of saved my life in a lot of ways, just from that like hardship of the teenage years of trying to figure out where I belonged, finding like theater kids and finding a place that I could succeed like theater and that I could be the weird little dork that I was and then that be embraced was just like finding a second home. So working with teenagers and especially seeing teenagers like find those deeper moments is really something like special to me. There are no deep moments and anything goes. It is all just, it is all just laughs and chaos and mayhem. So you don't have to bring a tissue. Like you can come and you probably aren't going to cry unless you're just moved by all the talent.
Aw. So. That is one of my favorite things since I started working with Little Theater is the youth productions and seeing our kids come in as kids and turn into teens and watching them transform. And I have been moved to tears from watching actors that at one point went, I'm gonna say my line like this, to like being big and like delivering lines and singing like out, and I'm just like sobbing like, oh my God, look at them, look how much they've grown, and the confidence and one of my kids, because I call them my kids because I adopt so many of them. She told me, she's like, I gave a speech in class and they didn't even need to give me a microphone. I was like, oh, you go.
That's amazing. I hesitate to call him out, but do you remember, Eden, that first night that we had auditions, do you remember that Silas didn't want to sing by himself?
Oh, yeah.
And now he's like the rehearsal ham. Like he's the one that I have to be like, okay, yes, you're hilarious. Yes, I'm laughing, but like, let's focus. And he's just and he's got all these solos. And on the first night, he was like hesitant to sing solo.
Changed a lot.
And everybody, I mean, even just from a few weeks ago, everybody's just grown. And I think part of it is the friendships. Like once you get really comfortable with people and you realize that it's like a safe space, like it's a really cool transition.
I think once they realize that they're not going to be judged because everybody is there to do it, and everybody and we have a good group of regular kids that I know this one actually has a lot more new people than we're used to seeing, which is wonderful. But our regular kids probably come in and like set the tone for the new kids to realize like, oh, okay, this. I can show how much I care about this, and that's the thing. Like they may be afraid to actually show how much they actually care to be good at it because they're in that age of like, you know, it's not cool to want to be good at stuff.
Yeah.
But like they come into this space and like, oh, everybody wants to be good at this. Like everybody wants to do a good job. Like, okay, I can be big, and I think that's amazing, and it's always fun to see like them come out of their shells.
Absolutely.
It's like, I love these kids so much. So what are you looking most forward to about this production?
We get to see some costumes tomorrow night.
Oh, really?
Does Alex
Yes.
get to wear a costume?
Alex tomorrow night gets a costume, and the Angels.
Should I curl my hair then? Because it's not really a 30s thing to have your hair straight.
I don't know. Let's poll the podcast audience. Should Reno have curly hair? No,
We need to know.
Yeah, we should talk about that. That's a good. We'll have to have that conversation.
Daisy.
Daisy,
We're phoning
you
in
know.
Daisy.
Do you get to phone a friend on a podcast? Why
To
not?
know.
Well, she'll be there. She'll be there tomorrow.
Okay.
Maybe curler in hand. I'm not sure. What has been your favorite either show or role or both?
Hard
Is
questions.
this included yet? Because this is my favorite so far.
Oh,
then
wow.
yes. Wow. Yay. This is included. This counts.
That's good.
I'd say, yeah, I really enjoy this one. I've never had a part this big, so that's really exciting.
Really? Maybe it's just because you have so much stage presence when you're on stage. It's hard for me to realize that you haven't had like.
Well, I guess I was the narrator once. And
You shared it though.
I did, but that was that was everyone's show for sure.
That
Everything's
was.
everyone's show.
It was like an ensemble-y.
Yeah,
shows.
in the best way possible. It's like in that show needed everyone to the full extent, and it used it, and it was great.
What show was that?
It was the Susification of Romeo and Juliet.
Oh, nice.
Weird title, but very funny.
Yeah. Our executive director, Joelle, likes to give me really long titles for our fall productions. So I've done the Brothers Grimm Spectacular-thon, the Susification of Romeo and Juliet, and the Stinky Cheese Man and Other Fairly Stupid Tales. Thank goodness
How do
our
you
fall
fit those
is,
on your posters, Jessica?
you know,
Do you
it
just
bends
use
around
dot,
and curves.
dot?
And yes. Thankfully, this fall we have Murder on the 518. So that's a lot shorter, and it's going to be less comedy and chaos and more mystery. So that one will be fun. I'm looking forward to that one. Getting the chance for our kids to do like a meaty story. So I'm excited.
That's so cool.
Yes. So Heather, what about you? Do you have a favorite role that you or show that you've been a part of? Whether director or actor?
Oh my gosh. I've only just started directing, so they're all still my favorite. I haven't gotten to the point where there's been one that's not been a favorite. Favorite that I've done? Oh my gosh. This is a deep cut. I don't know if I don't know. This is a deep cut. One of my very favorite scripts that I've ever worked with is a show called The Great American Trailer Park Musical. I've done it 3 times in 2 different characters. And it's just exactly what it sounds like. It's just a trashy little musical with a lot of Southern humor. I as an actor, I tend to have a strength in kind of like campier stuff, like very over the top things. And both the parts I played in that really gave me a chance to just be completely dumb in like the best way.
I love it. No, so one of my idols growing up was Amanda Bynes.
Yeah.
Poor Amanda Bynes. But as I was growing up, because I was told you I felt like this awkward, dorky girl. I was very much a tomboy. And so I'm like, oh, look at her. Like, she can be crazy and wacky and fall and trip and like hurt her, self. So I hurt myself all the time when I fall and trip and things. So maybe I can do it on purpose. That would be fun.
Yes. I love that kind of stuff. Now, I mean, I have had the chance to do Next to Normal, which is probably why I saw it on Broadway and immediately like fell in love with it. And then years later, I got to do it, and it's on my big bucket list to do it again. Now that I'm a little bit older and a little bit wiser. But that of the more like serious roles I've done, that's probably a favorite, to play Diana Goodman.
Do we have a dream role, guys?
Ooh.
The first show I ever saw was Peanuts the Musical, and I want to be Charlie Brown's younger sister. I've always have. Sally,
yeah.
I love Sally Brown, and I love My New Philosophy. I will belt that song in the shower. So
That's a great song.
Oh, yes. Do you have one, Eden?
I love everything Hamilton, so probably Angelica.
Nice.
Nice.
What about you?
Oh my gosh. Can I be totally honest? One of my dream roles, this is probably very gauche for me to say this, but one of my dream roles is actually Princess Puffer in The Mystery of Edwin Drood, which you guys are doing next season.
Oh, we are.
That's probably really, really tacky for me to say that, but it's one of my very favorite.
Manifesting. We won't know until we know.
Well, it's also taking an opportunity to just tell your podcast audience how great a show that is. It's one you've probably never heard of, but it's a fantastic show. So if you're thinking about season tickets, include that one in the must-see category.
I'm excited about that one.
I love
as
it.
well. Personally, when I always wanted to be like the first female Hamilton on Broadway.
If we're gender bending, we have like a whole nother list. That changes everything.
I don't know why, but a lot of my dream roles are male roles because I also would love to be Hermes.
Oh yes. Well, that character is non-binary. Like that character is non-gender specific because they've been male and female and non-binary.
Yeah. So there's always a possibility.
Yeah.
Or any character from Six, because I do love. I've always been a big history fan, and the monarchies and always really fascinated me. And I've seen every episode of The Tudors like multiple times. And when that musical came out, I'm like, oh, this is my niche: theater and history.
This is my niche. So good. It's so good. One of my faves.
So it depends on what day you ask me, but like any of the characters.
Same, absolutely same. I think I'm way too old for it, but if you guys ever do like Six, the geriatric version, then you can call me up.
I keep saying please let the rights be available before I age out of things. But it may be too late. That's all right.
No, I think you could totally pull it off.
I don't think it's too late. Never. You're too awesome.
Well, if Sir Ian McKellen can play Hamlet at his age, I can do whatever I want. Well, exactly. No, he's Sir Ian McKellen. We're going to give him a pass. He can do whatever he wants.
You're on the same level, right?
Yeah. No.
Yeah, well, I'd love to direct that one since I'm aged out. I would also love to choreograph that one.
Oh, yeah.
That would be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much fun that could be had.
Oh, my gosh.
And the costumes. Now that would be fun.
Yeah.
So much glitter.
A lot of bedazzling. Oh, sparkly, sparkly. Are there any sparkly costumes in this production?
We haven't seen them yet, but I believe so. I mean, this show is kind of that big razzmatazz, like, old-fashioned Broadway musical. It was previously on Broadway with first Patti LuPone was Reno, and then Sutton Foster was Reno. So it's had some major divas in that part, and it's all big dance numbers, big flashy costumes. I mean, it is like very nautical, lots of like plays on sailor suits and things like that. But yeah, Daisy, our costumer, is bringing some for us to see tomorrow. And then we have a production meeting on Friday where we'll kind of really hash out all that stuff. But yeah, I would assume we're going to have lots of flash and sparkle.
So come see the Flash and Sparkle.
Yes.
And when is the show going up? I should know this.
It's
in
the
May.
first weekend
It's
in
first
May.
weekend in May. That's right.
The numbers escape me at the moment. Is it like
would
May
be
2nd, 3rd, and 4th?
The 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. You got it. Look at that.
Thank God.
Go,
Thank you for
Heather.
doing my job for me.
God, I knew that.
I should know my daughter's in the show. Don't tell her, guys. Don't tell her I forgot.
Surprise, you're in the show.
No, actually, when I originally signed her up, I accidentally put my name in the participant spot. And I was like, oops, well, that's too bad for you, Allie. I'm taking over now.
What's so funny about Allie is we've put her as an angel, but she's also the captain of the ship, right? And what we didn't realize until we really got into the show was how often she has like one line to transform from the captain to an angel. So that's going to be really fun. She's going to have some quick changes.
Some like turn around and come back, and now I'm an angel.
I think we realized because Katie, who was doing choreography, kind of, did her own thing, and I kind of was, trying to stay back and not be cramping her style or all up in her business. And then I realized, so Allie gives the cue line for this number. And then as the captain, but then she's in it as an angel. So that's going to be really fun. I can't wait to work on that.
These are the fun challenges of theater that like have to be worked through that like people who just come and see the show don't necessarily know about. So thank you for sharing that, letting people kind of see on the inside and how this like the making of works.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, almost everybody is playing multiple roles except for these two who have like a big chunk of things to go through. And there's Hope and Billy, who are kind of the love ingenues, like the little young, we're so in love couple. And then Moonface, like Irma's. So Irma and Moonface are like mobsters, I guess. Gangsters. Yeah, they're tough.
Public enemy number 13.
Moonface aspires to be public enemy number 1, but as Irma points out, he's only public enemy number 13.
Long way to go there. But.
Dang, Snake guys.
So a lot of kids are doubled up or even tripled up, sometimes playing as like smaller characters that come in and out. And Allie just got like one where there's going to be a lot of like quick changes. But that'll be fun.
So come and see the show and see how they handle these challenges.
Absolutely.
I think they're going to do great. I have all the confidence in the world that they are going to pull it off because I've seen a lot of these kids and they're just amazing. Any last words? Anything you'd like the audience to take away or know?
I mean, I would just say that I'm super proud of these kids. Like we've mentioned, like, many of them, this is their first show. Some of them, it's really their first experience with acting at all. Almost all of them had no experience with tap dancing. So we really are taking kids that are just really enthusiastic about the story and the storytelling and, getting them across that finish line to do a full production. And it's super exciting. And I'm just proud of them because it's required a lot of hard work, a lot of focus, and it hasn't been easy by any means. And they just keep plucking through and they show up with a smile on their face and enthusiasm for the material. And I'm just super proud of them. And I can't wait for people to see it.
Yay. Well, come and see Anything Goes Youth Edition, May 2nd, 3rd, and 4th at Reynolds Place Theater. And you can get your tickets at LTWS.org. Alex, Eden, any last words? Anyone you want to say hey to?
Thank you, Heather, so much for your being an amazing director, and thank you so much. And Eden is awesome.
Alex is awesome.
Oh, so much love in this show. Well, that's a wrap on our behind-the-scenes look at the Spring Youth production. A huge thank you to Heather, Alex, and Eden for sharing their experiences and giving us a glimpse into the magic of youth theater. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe and leave us a review and share this podcast with your friends. You can find LTWS Backstage Chronicles on all major platforms, and for updates on youth productions and upcoming shows, visit us at ltofws.org. We will be back soon with more behind-the-scenes stories from the Little Theater of Winston-Salem. Until next time, I'm Jessica Perry, and thanks for tuning in. A special thanks to Such and Such Media, our 90th season media sponsor, helping us to bring theater stories to life one podcast at a time. And as always, we'll see you at the theater. The views and opinions of this podcast are those of the contributor and not necessarily those of our distributors and hosting company. This podcast is copyrighted. Use of this podcast without express permission may result in alien blood-sucking plants taking over the world. You have been warned.